Welcome back. Money in the Tank, episode 21, Jolie.
Good morning or afternoon or evening to our tankers out there, wherever you may be listening or even watching our beautiful faces for radios on YouTube, or whichever streaming service you're listening to us on. But welcome back to episode 20. Do we say 22, Arnie? 21. 21?
Oh, man, now I'm getting confused.
So we'll work it out. We'll come back to you guys.
Well, let's do the introduction. I'm Arnie, tax professional.
Joel Seach, Principal Advisor, Harp LFG. Great to have you on board again. Good to see you too, Arnie.
Yeah, good to see you, mate. Now, this is definitely episode 21 because in the last one we had the old Baron of Bitcoin update. So we're going to need to get another update on your crypto, and I'll give an update on what's happening with mine as well.
Love it. Yeah, mate. Welcome back. Good to see you again, my fellow lockdown partner. If in Victoria, if anyone's listening in, I guess Victoria or New South at the moment, we're all in lockdown situation.
6.0 here. So the only thing that's keeping me mentally sane is watching Max Gawn's goal on replay. Yes, from the weekend.
For those listeners that aren't sure who or what Max Gawn is, it's the Melbourne Demons finished top of the ladder for the end of the regular season. So minor premiers, doesn't really mean much, but it was a great game. And finals starting off this weekend. So I guess some kind of respite in lockdown is to be able to watch your team playing finals, which is good.
That's it, mate. I'm going to try and make myself some delicious football food as well, just to have there, just to really get in the atmosphere. Who have we got? We've got Brisbane this week in Adelaide.
Brisbane Saturday night, absolutely. And we did say we're going to get our guest on, Ryan, who's Melbourne's number one supporter. We're going to get him on next week, actually, because he's busy preparing this week for a few things. But we'll probably make a little special podcast, maybe tag it on at the end of the Money in the Tank to talk about D's for all the Demons listeners out there. But we'll get him on next week to hopefully talk about maybe a victory in the first qualifying final.
I wonder if he's able to get across to the game. I don't even know what the rules are about, like if you're allowed to or whatnot. So
he did. I texted him this week because we were organising. He says he's trying to get 400 shirts out to members at the moment, so he's a very busy man. But he did say if the AFL announces where the prelim and the grand final is going to go, he's going to get there and he's going to do his 14-day quarantine. So he's a dedicated man.
What a legend. I hope he gets there. I want to get there, but I don't know if time or circumstance will allow. Anyway.
Yeah, don't know if Kate will let you go, mate.
No, she probably won't. Have you got Rivkin's rules handy? I don't know if I asked you.
Probably do, mate. Yeah, he's probably floating around here somewhere. Where is he? Yeah, here he is. Rivkin. So, all right. Rivkin's rules. Money doesn't bring happiness on its own, but usually it does but using it to do good things certainly does. So let me just re-say that again because I messed that up. Money doesn't bring happiness on its own, but using it to do good things certainly does. And the other one is I have no doubt that Australia is the greatest country in the world to live in, but maybe a few people would disagree with that at this current time, depending on which state you live in.
It's still pretty good, mate. It's still a
good country.
I like that first one from Rivkin. When you're thinking about legacy and being altruistic, I think that's awesome. I think that's
absolutely
a good quote.
Yeah. When you bring it to do good things, it does have a meaning behind it because money, in a sense, doesn't actually mean anything, does it? But what you can do with it has some meaning behind it.
There's a means to an end. That's right. Yeah. So anyway you look at it, it's cool, man. Well, there's a few things we're going to cover today. So we will do a minor crypto update. Maybe we should start with that. And then we're going to cover off on the PSTH news because the investment that I was most bullish on a couple of episodes when we spoke about what would we invest $1,000 in has gone to absolute bubkus. So there's been really big developments, not in a positive way for that investment.
So I'm winning that bet, am I?
Wait, do we actually have a bet on
I can't remember if we actually said you'd go 1,000 into that and I'd go, I don't know, 1,000 somewhere else. But
you were talking about a sports betting ticker and I was talking about Ford and PSTH. So I don't know if we actually had a bet, but if we had a bet, you'd be well ahead right now. So I'll give an update on that. We'll give a brief update on TSLA AI Day and then tying into a listener submitted Q&A, we're going to get an overview of you, Jolie, about the financial advice world.
Yeah, and we got a 50-50 as well, don't we?
Yeah, got a good listener submitted 50-50. Actually, I think this is a good one. I think it's going to be a contentious one. So
yeah, love it. Yeah, great, mate, great. Well, where do you want to start? Do you want to start on?
Let's do a quick update of the crypto situation, and then I'll jump into PSTH.
Or even, so the markets in general, the last week was sort of a bit of a negative week overall, mainly in Australia, quite, 5 days, I think, in a row, which hasn't happened for a fair while. And it's starting to rebound back up now as at the 25th of August. So it's starting to pick back up again and taking some lead from Wall Street as well, which the FDA approved I think it was the Pfizer, and there's another drug as well that finally gave approval to for the vaccine, which may mean that people that were sitting on the sidelines waiting for that main kind of body over there to give that approval would now go and get the vaccine, which has then spurred on markets as well. So markets have reacted pretty well to that. Tesla had a bit of news, which you're going to delve into as well, Arnie. And I guess in terms of property in Australia, property, more broadly is ticking along pretty well. Obviously, Victoria, down on auction results, but the auction clearance rate is something stupid. I think it's like 95 or 97%. So, but that's very low volumes at the moment. So I think there's people on the sidelines sort of waiting just to list, and probably the spring season, maybe when the things open up again, that'll occur. So there's a bit of a supply demand issue at the moment.
Yeah. Well, maybe while we touched on it, I'll talk about Tesla AI Day, because we mentioned it in the last pod, and they actually had the AI Day, which was on the 19th of August. I think that was last Friday for us, or last Thursday, apparently.
Yep.
I didn't watch it. Apparently it was streamed, but I did catch up on the news afterwards, and they announced this D1 chip, Joel. So the D1 chip is going to be the processor that powers their Dojo supercomputer. And it's a semiconductor that's designed by Tesla. And they're saying that this is going to be the most powerful AI training machine in the world, because, and I don't understand the hardware side of it, but they reckon each D1 chip is capable of processing 306 teraflops. I've never even heard of a teraflop, so I don't know how. It sounds impressive. Have you heard of it, a teraflop?
No, I haven't, but I did see the picture of the humanoid robot, and it looked a lot like the iRobot thing from the Will Smith movie. It looked a bit creepy.
Yeah. Well, that's the second part of the news. So after this AI chip news, where they were saying that it's going to have the autopilot, it's going to power the autopilot on the auto side of things. They're sort of more expanded and said, Tesla's not just an auto company; it's an AI company now. And they were saying that this humanoid robot is going to be produced to do mundane tasks, and maybe, I think some of the comments from Elon Musk was that it's going to be trying to start doing menial tasks from a work perspective as well. And he referenced universal basic income and how that might be needed later on down the track. But yeah, so the bot's going to weigh 125 pounds, which is it? How many kilos is that? It's 1.6.
It's 2.2 pounds to a kilo.
2.2 pounds to a kilo.
Sort of halve it, I guess, 50 kilos.
Yeah, something like that, 60. And then it's going to be able to walk up to 5 miles an hour. It's going to be 5'8", and it can carry up to 45 pounds. So it's meant for boring, repetitive, or dangerous tasks. That's a direct quote from Elon Musk. And they saying it's not a gimmick. And some of the commentary in like the media afterwards was, some people were like amazed, saying this is like breakthrough, this is unbelievable. Tesla's pushing the envelope here. And then other people, especially people who are like, I guess, interested from an investment perspective, were saying this is a sideshow. It sort of detracts from Tesla's main mission. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think it's cool. I think both news items are cool, and if they pull it off, I would love that. But I don't know how I feel about it from an investment perspective.
Well, I guess what have we said before in the last few episodes, that Tesla is trying to, I think, diversify itself away from just being known as that car manufacturer. I think they want to be known for more, and they're pushing into the future, and they're trying these different areas and these new methods out. And I guess we'll wait and see what comes of it. But yeah, I think the media attention and whatnot, you're going to always have your pundits that, agree with it and think it's great news. And then you're going to have your others that disagree and think, it's going to be a flop or whatnot, but they're trying things, and they've got the money to do it. So, and you could see, I guess if it's along the same lines of having an auto driving car, it allows you to get time back, and time is very, very essential because it's finite. So a humanoid AI robot that can do menial tasks does that then also allow you to get time back as well? Which is, when you can get time back, the value you place on that could be exponential.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And I think if you frame it like that, it kind of does indirectly go to the core mission of Tesla. The core mission of, not just Tesla, but Elon Musk, I should say, is preserve life on this planet and then further life on other planets, make us multiplanetary. And I don't know how that directly relates to it, but indirectly, I guess if you're freeing up people from menial tasks, they can work on more important tasks to further the progress on that mission. So it's an interesting one.
Yeah, for sure, mate, for sure. PTSD, do you want to give us a
PTSH? PTSD, because I've been talking about too much.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, yeah.
Yeah, PSTH. I'll give you a quick rundown on it. So there was an announcement last week as well. I think it was midweek that there was going to be lawsuits filed against PSTH and the hedge fund that runs PSTH, which is PSH, run by Bill Ackman. So it's Pershing Square Holdings run by Bill Ackman. And the reason it garnered some significant attention is because it's actually this lawsuit's being brought by a former SEC chairman. So SEC in America, Securities Exchange Commission, which is the sort of same as our ASIC here, a regulatory body that sort of takes care of, that sort of space. This former SEC chair was one of the people who was bringing it in conjunction with some legal professors. And it's got wider ramifications than just PSTH, because they're basically saying that PSTH is an illegal investment vehicle. And if they were to be found correct in the court of law over there, then it would have ramifications for the whole SPAC market, SPAC being the special purpose acquisition companies, which is just a way of investing, which is different to the traditional IPO. So PSTH and Bill Ackman released a letter afterwards saying that because of the lawsuit, which they believe is meritless, they are going to return the net asset value of the cost of a share back to all the shareholders, being $20. So if you bought this security, like I did, above $20, then you're going to get a loss no matter what. On this news, it actually dipped below $20. I think it went as low as $19.50. People were selling out, even though they were guaranteed to get $20 back if they held, because they think it's going to go lower, and I guess they're sick of having their money tied up in an investment where they're losing out on the opportunity cost of not being able to invest in something else.
Yep.
But there was one sweetener to this deal, and I guess people might be a bit jaded because of how long it's been, where this has been an ongoing thing. But Bill Ackman said that, and he also said this when the UMG deal was announced, which eventually fell through and was blocked by the SEC. But he said they're going to try and get a SPAC through the SEC and to the holders of PSTH before they give back the $20 per share. So the SPAC is a special purpose acquisition rights company. And I should say, sorry, it's not a SPAC, that's the holding co, but then you'll get a SPA, which is a special purpose acquisition right. And then from that point on, it's going to be like a new type of SPAC, which I've described on this podcast before, where they will go and pursue a business combination or a merger or a stock purchase or whatever. And as soon as the deal's done and it's sealed away and there's no way it's going to fall through, at that point, if you hold a SPA, you can buy in for $20 and the value might skyrocket at that point. So if people haven't got the SPA and they want to buy in, they have to pay whatever price it's going for. But if you hold the SPA, it's almost like a free option to buy in at the NAV. So that's sort of how Bill Ackman was selling it. He copped a lot of flack in the media for it. And then they came out after the fact and said, because I should say that the SPAC and the SPA are, again, still subject to SEC approval. He's confident that it's going to get through, but who knows? So there's a lot of risk there and not much upside anymore. But he was, after the fact, I think it was only yesterday, he said whether or not he's still going to try and pursue a merger for the current SPAC, PSTH. But if they get the SPAC approved sooner rather than later, that's when they're going to distribute the $20 back to shareholders, give them the SPA rights, and then they can choose to invest with him once he finds a deal at that point in time. And it removes the time restrictions, because a SPAC inherently has time restrictions, and they haven't got they've lost about half the time, because I think they IPO'd the SPAC last year. So long story short, Jolly, that's where it's at.
Okay. And what's your thoughts, mate? Do you reckon it's going to come back?
So not investment advice, and I am a holder of this SPAC.
General in nature, as always.
General nature. I've lost about 20% because my average costs on the shares of PSTH is $24. And so I will get back 20 if I hold through, but I'll also get this right. And there's no way you can assign a value to this right at the moment. So when the UMG deal was going through, people, like very bullish people, were saying that this SPAC right might be worth between $5 and $8 a right. Like you might be able to trade it like a warrant on an exchange. Now they're saying the value is next to nothing because of like the reputational risk that Ackman and PSH have gone through, and I guess the rigmarole of what they've done to the holders. They're saying that the value is next to nothing. I think that I'm just going to hold anyway because there's no point me selling out now and getting less than NAV. Like if it's below $20, I may as well get the maximum I can back. I'm not worried about the opportunity cost, and I get these SPA rights, hopefully, if it gets through the SEC anyway. So there is still like a pie in the sky scenario where he finds an amazing combination for either PSTH, the SPAC, or for the SPARC, and I get my money back and then some. So I'm just going to hold.
Hold through the choppy waters.
Can I just say, there's a bloke who a friend of mine on Discord. He's an American. His Discord name, I don't know his real name, but his Discord name is Pingu or J Pingu. And he's a quote that he loves to say is just bag hold till victory. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hold the bags until victory, Jolie.
Good, mate. Good. All right, love it. Let's keep us updated, buddy. Let us know how it eventuates.
Yeah. And so do you want to give a quick update on crypto situation before we delve into financial advice world?
Yeah, the Baron of Bitcoin, mate, as you love to mention.
Or the Earl of Ethereum.
Facetiously, yeah.
Is it facetious? Mate. Is it facetious?
No. I think it's just a bit of fun, bit of fun for the listeners. So for those of you who missed it, brought in a little bit of BTC and ETH, or it was about a month ago now, I think maybe thereabouts. So we're just tracking along. I texted on the other day just laughing, saying, I'm about 35% right now. It's this is easy.
You're crushing it.
crushing the Bitcoin or the crypto game. But no, mate, a bit of fun, and it's one of those things that it's not, it's not huge amounts of cash, but just putting a little bit in there and seeing how it goes and just getting a feel for it. And I'll probably, as I mentioned, I'll probably dollar cost in a little bit as I go, as well as sort of get a bit of cash flow coming through, and I'll just top it up. Usually on the down, it's been pretty up of late, but I think it's actually down today. So I might even do a bit of a buy in today, and maybe even on a future pod we'll be able to share screens and show you how the buy-in works, etc. as well, and the purchase pricing, etc.
How much has it crashed? I haven't been keeping up with that. Are you saying that it's down?
Yeah, about probably 5%, 6% or so over the past couple of days. So, I think I bought in around the 58,000 mark AUD, and it got up to about 72. I think it was 71 AUD, and now she's down back about 66K. So per Bitcoin, and Ethereum is obviously different, but yeah.
Mate, you're crushing it.
Yeah, how's your Dogecoin going, mate?
my YYC, my shitcoin, I haven't received it yet. So I don't know. Like this bloke who I don't know either, I won it in this chess tournament, was saying that he has to get it moved onto the Binance Smart Chain or something. I don't even know what this means, Jolie. So I've made the Binance account.
Yep.
And apparently there was this, I'm probably getting this completely wrong, tankers, so forgive me, but there's some sort of Binance Smart Chain, and once it's available, he's going to be able to move his coin onto Binance and then transfer me 10 million of it, which is equivalent to like $5 USD or something like that.
Gotcha. So the actual coin's not available on Binance yet.
Currently, you cannot get YYC on Binance, but once it's on Binance, I'm just going to be mercilessly shilling it.
There you go. Love it, mate. Love it. We'll keep the tankers updated on the Bitcoin and the Ethereum and the what's it called, YYC coins.
Well, yeah, YYC. I don't actually know I don't even know what YYC stands for. Like, it must be like a name. I'll find out just so we've got the official
meme coin,
meme coin name here. So we had a question a little while ago from Dawn, one of our listeners, about the best way to plan for retirement, right? So we thought this might be a good. It's a bit of a big question, which is why we haven't addressed it in the past, Jolly. But we thought it might be a good segue into you to explain to the tankers a little bit about your world, the financial advice world, And then, I don't know, if you can attempt to give Dawn some general in nature, high-level advice about how you might go about preparing for retirement.
Yeah, no, good.
It's a
good
big
stuff,
ask.
mate, and good question from Dawn. It's a question, we do get a lot in the advice world. So we, we'll try and have some general discussion around that today. But advice, mate, it can, I guess, fall into many forms. But the main thing, whenever as advice or as an advisor, when you're engaging, it's all about a trusted accountability, type advocate type relationship with clients. So it's essentially helping them move forward in their life to get on the best path and help them, I guess, achieve certain aspirations or goals, or help them navigate, but also help them avoid pitfalls and mistakes along the way. And it's essentially working as their trusted advisor to help them manage cash flow, manage, investments, super, whether it's property involved, loans, all those type of investments, all those types of things, that helping them manage their situation overall to get them from A to B to C to D.
Yeah, and that would involve things like tax planning. That would involve estate planning, even though it's probably not everyone's favorite topic to talk about, right?
Yeah, well, again, it's a great one. It's a good point you raised, because as a principal advisor, the approach you try to take with clients is help sort of be their go-to for all things financial, all matters financial. So be across the whole page for them and the whole gamut. And involved in that, we'll be bringing in what we call sort of circles of influence, where we'll be bringing in people at an arm's length arrangement to bring in professionals to help round out this client situation. So whether that may be bringing in a solicitor to help with estate planning, wills, powers of attorney, testamentary trusts, whether it's property advocates, whether it's real estate agents, conveyancers,
tax advice,
accountancies, all those things, business planning. It's an array of different things, and you've got, as an advisor, you're always trying to arm yourself with all these different professionals that you are referring to at an arm's length basis, which meaning that you don't get any kickbacks because you're working as a client's advocate on a retainer basis. Mm-hmm. And essentially, you're trying to make sure you're across the board with all those situations and understanding to a good degree of what those areas entail, and helping, I guess, make sure you're, explaining to the clients what's moving forward in that area and how we're going about doing it, and trying to explain things in easy to understand language. So identifying pitfalls, identifying gaps in a client situation is also pretty integral when you're bringing in professionals. What's
a good way for the tankers to identify? Say they want to go see a financial advisor, and they can't see you, Jolie, because you're too busy. If they want to identify a good financial advisor, and you want to be careful that you're not going with someone who's taking kickbacks,
yep.
And you talked about this advocacy. What's the best way to ascertain that this is like they're on the level, they're a good financial advisor? Is it fee for service? Like, what is it?
Yeah, you want to ask them that question straight away. Just, ask them, do they get kickbacks? Do they get product fees? Do they get commissions? Do they get referral fees for referring you to someone? Because you always want to find out if the person's truly working for you as your principal advisor and advocate. They really shouldn't be receiving kickbacks from a third-party referral source, because when you dig into it, really speaking, that is that person going to be the best professional for the client to see, or are you referring them because you've got an arrangement and there's a referral fee in there? So I think that at its core, that breaks down that trusted advisor relationship, whenever that's involved. But yeah, you can look up the moneysmart.gov.au website, and every advisor now should be licensed in there. Everyone should be up to date with education requirements. They'll put on there if there's been any disqualifications or bannings or any issues. So yeah, that's sometimes people get caught out by going to an unlicensed advisor and not realizing that they're not licensed. And that's where you hear some horror stories of things that go wrong. So every advisor needs to be licensed. But yeah, very, very much so asking that question about, how do they get paid? Is it fixed fee? Are those other things involved that I just discussed?
And just to clarify, they all have to be licensed through ASIC.
Yeah. Licensed through ASIC, correct, yeah.
That's right. So, and is there different classes of license, or is there just the one blanket license?
Well, it's a license through ASIC. You can either be self-licensed, or you can be licensed through a licensee, which essentially gives you a license through ASIC. And advisors will specialize in different areas. So you could be a stockbroker that has an advisor license, but mainly just deals with stocks. You could be an advisor that specialises in SMEs or wholesale clients, sophisticated investors, retail clients. You could have advisors that work just for a fund, intra-fund advice. So there's different levels of advisors or different ranges of what they may do.
Oh, that's interesting, mate.
Or risk advisors too. Risk advisors that just specialise in personal insurance. Yeah.
Personal insurance advisors. So, what, are they just an insurance broker, or is it
No, a bit different. An insurance broker is more like general insurance, so professional indemnity and common liability insurance is a general insurance broker, but risk insurance or an insurance advisor specifically would focus just on putting in insurances for clients. They're probably less common nowadays, but the income protection, life insurance, those sorts of things. Most advisors will be able to do it, but there's sometimes insurance advisors that'll drill into a bit more expertise around like key man insurance, buy-sell agreements, etc. So just a bit more detailed insurance.
That's cool, man. I guess rounding back to Dawn's question, I don't know how you're going to go answering this one, but I guess just to paint a picture, if you're approaching retirement, and you're likely going to get the pension. And so, that means that you've met the income test and the asset test and you are going to receive it. What's the best way a soon-to-be retiree can plan for retirement?
Yeah, well, we always say, there's a great analogy I heard years ago was the best time to plan for retirement was yesterday, and if not yesterday, today. So planning, the earlier people get in front of you, as an advisor, the more benefit you can help from a compounding impact and helping, make the right decisions early. So that can really help. So a lot of, pre-retirees will come to us and we can set up some great strategies to enable them to maximize whatever it is they're trying to achieve for retirement. And it'll also help them with complexities and helping them involve pitfalls. But just from a broad perspective, when we talk about, I'm 6 months away from retirement or whatnot. So some of the things to be mindful of is age pension, as to what age that comes in, because it's a tiered scale depending on how old you are. Superannuation and allocated pensions at that time become applicable. Maximizing contributions, what time you're finishing work, or are you going to retire straight away? You're going to go part-time or casual? Will there be long service leave or redundancy payouts? Maximizing any contributions you may have. Do you have a holiday home that's going to be impacting detrimentally to your age pension? Principal place of residence are exempt. And then plans for retirement as well. So once you retire, it's not just about dropping everything and doing nothing. It's really important to have a plan in retirement as to things that you want to do and achieve and strive for, because otherwise it can be a pretty, of clients over the years that can have a pretty tough time of settling into retirement from living a busy life to then not finding, what they're striving for in retirement. So that's another key thing too, aside from, the financial side of things.
And there's a way as well, and you would know this much better than I do, but depending on what your financial situation is, you're able to supplement your income in retirement when you've got the age pension, aren't you? There's an amount you're allowed to earn up to when you've got the age pension?
Yeah, so you can have a casual employment job. You can work part-time, which because your age pension has an income test or an assets test, so you'll come under one or the other. Most people fall under assets test, but if, let's say, you're working on a part-time basis, you might have an income test for the age pension. But what you generally will have, you'll have, you might have some casual income or be fully retired. So then you'll have age pension, and then you'll have what's called your own investments or savings or superannuation, where you'll be able to draw an income from to be able to help supplement that age pension. And then it's all about working on how to best make that work for the individual through projection planning, working through investment planning of risk profile and where that money's going to sit, how it's going to generate, how it's going to be tax effective, estate planning involved in that as well, and making sure that money is going to last the length of time for the individual, the couple, to make sure they don't overspend, they don't underspend, but there's the right amount coming in to be able to do all the things that are important to them and not run out of money too soon. Because that's sometimes one of the biggest fear of clients is, will we have enough? Will we run out too soon?
There you go, Dawn. I reckon Jolie's had a fair crack at that question. You've done really well there, Jolie.
Thanks, buddy. Well, I hope I would, mate. It's something we do most days of the week. We chat to clients about those sorts of things. So we appreciate the question, Dawn. And general in nature, as always, whenever we're talking advice or planning or stocks and things, it's just general nature, just high level information, general information. So everyone in their own personal situation should seek independent advice for themselves.
Absolutely. And we have, in my opinion, a very, very good, a very contentious 50-50 this week. So, and is this coming at Jolly cold? I haven't forewarned him. So are you familiar with the term, Jolly, Disney adult?
No.
So a Disney adult is an adult who still enjoys Disney movies or Disney content in their own right. So it's not just because you've got kids and you watch Disney movies from time to time. It's like, do you actually specifically still enjoy Disney movies? So are you a Disney adult? Yes or no? And sorry, I shouldn't just say movies. It's any Disney content. That's the caveat.
I would have thought they would have been able to make that into a shorter acronym like DISDOLT or something.
A DISDOLT. Yeah. Well, we can coin that. Yeah, we can coin that.
Disney movies. So Disney movies or shows, yeah? Is that right?
Well, I don't know. I guess when they talk about this is the thing, right? Because Disney has evolved in recent times. Now they've got Star Wars. Now they've got Marvel Comic Universe. It's all under the Disney banner now. Yeah. So maybe they weren't thinking about that when they posed this question, are you a DISDOLT? Maybe they were just thinking about, Dumbo and Bambi and whatnot. But
and as a peep,
are you a DISDOLT? Like, are you a DISDOLT now?
I've got the Disney app, so the kids watch Disney, and I've watched movies on there before. I don't know if Disney actually owns the rights, if everything on Disney is Disney owned, or if they've got a mixture of company involved in that Disney app, maybe like Warner Brothers, for example.
No, they license stuff. So the Star part of Disney Plus is not their own content. They license it.
Yeah, so there's movies on there, but I'm not against Disney as such, like in terms of the characters and things. They're I guess they've been around for over 50 years now, longer. I've been to Disneyland before, so I guess I enjoyed Disney, but I wouldn't say I'd be dressing up in theme of Disney gear and doing what are they called? They do the people at Comic-Con, they dress up and
cosplayers. Let me pose this question to you. Tomorrow a new Pixar movie comes out. The kids are going to bed. Do you and Ezra chuck on the new Pixar movie?
No.
So I don't know if you can call yourself a DISDOLT.
No, I don't think I quite fit the criteria. But yeah, I do hear of people that love the kids' movies and they're wrapped when their kids want to put on a kids' movie.
I'm going to go ahead and say I am a DISDOLT.
Oh, okay.
And we got Disney Plus as well for our little boy, and I think it's a solid streaming service, not just for the kids' content, but the Star content, which is all the licensed stuff. I feel like it's a very good streaming service in its own right, but if there's a new like a flagship Disney movie, like a Pixar or just one of their normal movies that comes out, I'm watching it and I love them. I love them so much. Like if you run through the last couple of the big ones that have come out, there's Onward, there's Soul, there's Moana and Coco. Those recent animated movies, I reckon they're the best. I love them.
Mulan, is that one?
Oh, you mean I haven't seen the remake. I've seen the old Mulan, which I like. That's quite
the remake. Yeah, watch the remake. Yeah,
I didn't watch the remake because it copped a lot of shit, and I was just like, I don't know. So
that was all right. But okay, you know what I did? You delve heavy into it.
You know what I did watch? I watched the remake of Aladdin with Will Smith as a genie.
Yeah,
and it was absolute I thought it was garbage.
Yeah,
and I think it's because I have such a strong connection to the nostalgia of the original Aladdin as a kid.
Hard to beat the old one.
Yeah, but new Disney movies, I will watch them independent of my children. So yeah, call me a DISDOLT. I'm fine with it.
I must admit, I think I put on Mighty Ducks 2 the other day and watched that. I think that's Disney. So there's definitely some stuff on there that I'll watch. But I
reckon you might. You're right on the cusp of it. I'm not going to call you a DISDOLT.
It's probably more nostalgic stuff. I think for me, as I'll look back at some of the movies I used to watch as a kid. But yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way for new releases to jump on there like you, mate.
There's a show on Dis Plus now, which is the Mighty Ducks, but it's like they're releasing a new show. I haven't watched it. I don't even know what it's called. But it's
Mike Snow was telling me something about that, didn't they? I think they released a latest Mighty Ducks. Did they bring Estevez back for it?
I think he is in it. Yeah, it's a series. It's like a TV show. So I'm going to watch that and suss out what it's about.
Yeah, so I'll check it out. So I'll try to do that. Given we've got lockdown, we've got plenty of time to do it.
All right, let's do it. Next Money in the Tank pod, we'll review the first episode of the Mighty Ducks.
All right, we'll give it a watch. Cool, mate. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and all the listeners. Hopefully we hit on some of the good topics for you guys today and some topics of interest. And Arnie, where can people find us on? Where can people write questions in and comment?
Yep. So we're at Money in the Tank on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So if you want to leave a like, comment, or subscribe to us on YouTube, that will help us. And yeah, please keep bringing in the questions from the 50/50s because we love that. It's our favorite part. And let us know about Disney or not. Maybe I'll try and drop that one on the Facebook. I haven't done that in a while. See if people resonate with Disney or not.
Poll it.
And,
love it, buddy.
Good stuff, man. Go D's this week.
Indeed.
That's the main thing.
Let's hope we're talking about a win next week with Rhino. And yeah, coming up next week, Ryan will get on there and talk events and some of the people he's brought out, the famous celebs, all things events and how it works. So Dennis Rodman, Muggsy Bogues, Jake the Snake, he'll brought them out. So he'll chat to us about how that works and how it operated and the pitfalls and the things that went well for him.
Love it. All right, cheers, Jolly.
Great. Thanks, Arnie.
See you, mate.